Hi, today we are touching on how major mechanicals affect your sale price or your home value. Major mechanicals, when we talk major mechanicals, we're referring to things like furnace, boiler, hot water heater, roof, windows. Those are your major mechanicals. They keep your home functioning, your plumbing, your electric. They keep your home functioning. They keep the envelope safe of the envelope of your home, but they're not seen day to day in the workings of your life. So ideally, you don't usually have to think about them because they just work. And that's what they're there for. They're there to keep your home heated, safe, indoor plumbing working, lights on, and you shouldn't even have to think about them being there because they should just be working. But sometimes that's not the case. And sometimes they are not just working. And sometimes things happen. And sometimes you're taking a shower and the shower goes absolutely freezing cold because your hot water heater is no longer functioning. And things like that happen. But one of the things and one of the conversations we like to have with sellers is when it comes to those major mechanicals, what does that look like when it comes to replacing those things in regards to your home value? So we have people who have just put on a new roof. They've just installed a new boiler, and boilers are not inexpensive. But they last like 30, 50 years sometimes, but they run $10,000 to $15,000 sometimes. Furnaces, and it's important to know furnaces and boilers are very different. Furnaces function in a forced air system, and boilers function in a baseboard system. So very different systems. We'll do another video on the difference between those, but just know those are major mechanicals. Your windows, things like that, they cost a lot of money. And when they are not working, you need to replace them because you cannot sell a home for top value if it doesn't have heat, if it doesn't have working plumbing. These are things that buyers expect to have functioning. And if they don't, you will get hit hard price-wise on it. If they do, the hard thing is you won't necessarily get a boost for having newer items. You just won't get hit for not having functional items. I hope that makes sense. So for example, if you just replaced your furnace and your hot water heater, that will certainly help sell your house. And we can absolutely say newer furnace, newer hot water heater, it alleviates stress from buyers, so they are more likely to put in an offer. And it might offer a little bit of a bump in your sale price, but not typically by a lot, because at the end of the day, it just encourages people to put in an offer. It makes them more likely, and it decreases your days on market. It doesn't necessarily increase your price. That being said, they are things that need to be done. So as we talked about in a previous video, that might mean that you go from getting the best furnace that you possibly could if you were to stay there for another 30 years to getting the middle of the road furnace because you know you're going to sell, and it's still a good furnace and it'll still last a long time, but maybe not the best one that you would have opted for if you were going to have stayed there for an extra 10 years. So it's knowing that balance, knowing how maybe you replace just a couple of the windows with the broken seals as opposed to all of them like you would have done if you were to stay there. It's knowing where to balance that out, those needed repairs versus what you would have put the money into if you were to continue to have stayed there. I hope that helps. When it comes to needed major mechanical repairs, if you have any questions, please give us a call. They absolutely need to be done, but there's a right way to do it that is the perfect balance for what you're trying to do when it comes to selling and when it comes to staying in your home. And we would love to be able to offer any insight we can to help you figure that out. Like I said, any questions you have, feel free to reach out, and we'll talk to you soon.